Okay, now, so we are still in the topic permutation, but this time we will focus on how to solve problems involving permutations. So, paano ba mag-solve ng mga problems that involves permutations? So, meron tayo ditong mga examples. But before that, ano muna yung notations na gagamitin natin in solving problems involving permutations. So, as stated in your module, the permutation of n objects taken R at a time is denoted by P of nr. In some books, it is also denoted by npr, then we have pnr, or pnr. So, dun sa first notation, subscript sa left and right yung n and r. Yung second notation, subscript din yung n and r. Sa last notation, subscript yung r, superscript yung n. So, pag binasa natin yan, lahat ng notation na yan, pag binasa natin, babasahin natin siya na permutation of n objects taken R at a time. So, pare-pareho lang ang pagbasa dyan, kahit aling notation ang gamitin nyo. So, again, those notations are read as permutation of n objects taken R at a time. Okay. So, let us discuss solving problems that involves permutations or different kinds of permutations. And this is the first type of permutations that we are going to solve or you will encounter in the following, the next activities of your module. So, for number 1, permutations with distinct arrangement. So, paano ba natin isolve yung permutations if there is a distinct arrangement? So, remember, the permutation of n objects taken R at a time is, so this is denoted by P of nr is equal to n factorial all over the quantity of n minus r factorial, wherein n is greater than or equal to r. And the permutation of n objects taken all at a time is P of n, n is equal to n factorial. So, ano ba yung n at ano ba yung r dun sa notation? Para malinaw, yung n, yun yung given objects na i-arrange. Yung r, yun yung bilang ng objects na kukunin nyo dun sa n na siya yung i-arrange. Halimbawa, meron akong 6 potted plants, pero ang space ko lang ng paglalagyan ko ay 4. So, ibig sabihin, 4 lang yung pwede kong i-arrange. So, pagka nilagay ko siya sa notation, that is permutations of 6 objects taken 4 at a time. So, 6 yung aking potted plants, pero ang i-arrange ko lang ay 4 kasi 4 lang yung space ng paglalagyan. So, ganun siya. Yung n, yung given objects, and then yung r, ilan dun sa objects na yun, yung i-arrange mo dun sa given space or position. So, the formula is n factorial all over the quantity of n minus r factorial. So, remember that the given object must be greater than or equal to r. So, hindi pwedeng ang r ay mas mataas kaysa sa n. So, pwedeng equal or less than yung r dun sa n. Kasi pagka naging equal na ang r at saka ang n, ang ibig sabihin nun, n objects taken all at a time na. At ang notation na natin dun ay yung permutation of n objects taken r at a time or taken n at a time kasi equal na yung n and r. And our answer for this will be obtained using n factorial. So, yung exclamation symbol diyan ay binabasa as factorial. So, this is the formula on how to solve permutations with distinct arrangement. So, ano ang example ng permutations with distinct arrangement? So, ito yung example. In how many ways can 6 people arrange themselves in a row for picture taking? So, in the given problem, ang n natin ay 6 kasi meron tayong 6 na tao. And then, ang r natin ay 6 din kasi lahat sila ay i-arrange natin sa row for picture taking. So, n and r are equal. So, our formula, permutation of n objects taken r at a time is equal to n factorial all over the quantity of n minus r factorial. So, if we're going to use this formula and then we are going to substitute the value of n and the value of r, so we will have p is equal to 6 factorial because our n is 6, so we have 6 factorial all over the quantity of n, which is 6, minus r, which is also 6 factorial. So, paano mag-simplify ng factorial notation? So, ang ibig sabihin ng 6 factorial, so, iti-take mo yung factors from 6 using 6 factors pababa. So, ibig sabihin, 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So, we have 6 factors. So, ito ang ibig sabihin ng 6 factorial. Starting from 6 and then pababa na, i-multiply natin yung mga factors na yan. So, that is how to simplify factorial. Then, in your denominator, subtracting 6 and 6 gives us 0. So, for 0 factorial, the answer is always 1. Remember, the value of 0 factorial is always 1. Yan. So, if you're going to multiply the factors in the numerator, 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, the answer is 720. And then, for your denominator, the value of 0 factorial is 1. So, 720 divided by 1 gives us a result of 720. So, ginamit natin yung original formula, nag-substitute tayo, din nag-simplify tayo. The answer is 720, meaning the number of permutations for the given problem is 720. So, meron kang 720 arrangement na pwedeng gawin for picture taking sa kanilang anim. So, sa baba, ito yung mabilis na paraan ng pagsusolve ng number of permutations. Hindi na ako nag-minus sa denominator kasi automatic ito din naman yung mangyayari. Ganito na lang. So, kung ano yung value ng n, doon ka mag-start ng first factors. So, the value of n is 6, nag-start ako ng first factor 6. And then, kung ano yung value ng r, so our value ng r is 6, ibig sabihin, you have 6 factors to be multiplied. Kaya hanggang 1. Kasi pag binilang mo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, matatapos ka hanggang 1. So, considering that we have 6 factors to be multiplied. Pero kung ang r mo ay 5, let's say 6 objects taken 5 at a time, hindi na natin isasama yung 1. Kasi hanggang 2, meron ka ng 5 factors na i-multiply. Kung naman ang r mo ay 4, given object, sabi dyan ay 6 taken 4 at a time. So, let's say ang r ay 4. So, hanggang number 3 ka lang. Kasi from 6, 5, 4, 3, apat na yung factors mo. Hindi mo na isasama yung 2 and 1. So, considering that r is 4. Wala nang denominator kasi nadi-divide out din naman yun kapag minus mo yung n and r. So, yun yung shortcut niya. Para lang mabilis. Pero kung nalilito kayo doon, gamitin nyo yung original formula na n factorial all over n minus r factorial. Magma-minus kayo and then magdi-divide out kayo ng common factor. Pero kapag ang n at saka ang r ay equal, laging hanggang 1 ang factors ninyo. Kasi yung bilang ng factors ay equal dun sa n. Okay? So still the answer is just the same. So 6 taken 6 at a time. So I have to consider factors, writing factors starting from 6 and considering that R is 6. So stop ako hanggang 1 para magkaroon ako ng 6 factors. So still the answer is 720 possible picture arrangement of possible pictures. So that is for permutation with distinct arrangement. So remember the formula. N factorial all over the quantity of n minus r factorial. Similarly, Similarly, if we have 4 factorial, so sabi ko kanina, starting from 4, and then starting from 4 and ka hanggang 1. So we have 24. Just multiply. If you have 8 factorial, so starting from 6, and then yung factors mo hanggang 1, 40,320 if you're going to multiply. And then 3 factorial means 3 times 2 times 1, so we have 6. If you have 10 factorial, then you have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 42 and 1. So we have 3,628,800. And always remember that the value of 1 factorial and the value of 0 factorial is always equal to 1. So ayan, fix yung kanyang value. 1 factorial is 1. 0 factorial is also equal to 1. So this is how to simplify factorial notation. Ayan. So, madali lang. Magmumultiply ka lang naman. If you have scientific calculator, isang press mo lang lalabas na yung sagot. Kung may scientific notation ka. Kung wala, so, magmultiply ka ng mga factors. Okay? Let's proceed to the second permutation, which is permutations with repetition. So, yung may nauulit. Distinguishable or tinatawag din natin siyang distinguishable permutation. So, ano ba itong permutations na ito? So, the number of permutations of n things where a things are alike. B things are alike, C things are alike, and so forth. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa given objects mo, merong mga objects na magkakapareho. Ano ang example nito? Halimbawa, kung librarian ka, mayroon kang 30 mathematics books, at meron kang 25 English books, at meron kang 50 science books. So, yun, yung mga tinatawag natin, things are alike. I-arrange mo yung books sa shelves, pero yung mga i-arrange mo dun sa shelves ay mga things that are alike. So, yun yung tinatawag natin distinguishable permutations or permutations with repetitions. So, the formula for solving this kind of permutation is P is equal to n factorial, wherein n is the given objects or things, all over a factorial, b factorial, c factorial, and so forth. So, depende. Yung denominator ay depende dun sa mga things alike. Kung mayroon kang 4 na things na alike, so hanggang 4 na factorial yan. Pero kung dalawa lang naman yung alike, so hanggang a factorial and b factorial ka lang. So kung isa lang naman yung mga things alike mo, so hanggang a factorial ka lang. So, para malinaw, bigyan natin ng example yung number 2. Ito yon. Let's say, we need to find the number of permutations of the letters of the word statistics. So, kung mapapansin nyo, dun sa letter of the word statistics, the word statistics is composed of 10 letters. So, we have S, T, A, T, I, S, T, I, C, S. So, this is composed of 10 letters. And yung letter S, dun sa word na statistics ay 3. So, this is 1, 2, 3. So, inulit yung S ng 3 beses. So, alike yung S, 3. Then, yung letter T, meron din tayong 3 letter T dun sa word na statistics. Na naulit na 3 beses yung letter T. So, for letter T, 3 rin. And another one is letter I. Naulit din yung letter I na 2 beses. So, i-take note lang natin ang S ay 3, ang T ay 3, ang I ay 2. So, sila yung mga things na alike or sila yung mga na-repeat na object dun sa ating given word statistics. So, if you're going to apply the formula, we have P is equal to N factorial all over A factorial times B factorial times C factorial hanggang 3. Yung denominator na factorial notation natin kasi meron tayong 3 objects na alike. Okay. Substitution. So, the value of N is 10. Always remember that N is the given object. So, 10 letters yung statistics, therefore, N is 10. So, we have 10 factorial. All over, sa nanggaling yung 3 factorial, doon sa S, kasi ang S natin ay 3. So, that is 3 factorial. Multiplied by another 3 factorial, nanggaling naman siya doon sa 3 T. So, that is 3 factorial. Times 2 factorial na nanggaling doon sa letter I na naulit ng 2 beses, and that is 2 factorial. So, this is how to solve distinguishable permutation. So, for 10 factorial, if you're going to simplify 10 factorial, starting from 10, so we have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So, considering that from 10 factorial consists of 10 factors. Okay? And then 3 factorial means we have 3 times 2 times 1. Then another 3 factorial, multiply ulit tayo, 3 factorial, 3 times 2 times 1. And then 2 factorial, multiply natin 2 times 1. Then simplify. In simplifying, pwede naman tayo mag-divide out ng common factor para mapaliit natin yung value ng numerator at saka denominator. Madali tayong makapag-multiply at saka makapag-divide. So, for your denominator, you have 2 times 1. So, pwede natin i-divide out si 2 times 1 sa taas. Then, meron ka another 2 times 1 sa baba and then 2 times 1 sa baba, which is 4. So, dinivide out niya sa taas yung factor na 4. And then, yung 3 sa baba, you have same factor in the numerator 3. Kaya, na-divide out yung 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, dito yun sa baba, i-divide out. So, may natira na lang tayo sa taas na factors na 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5. And then, in your denominator, may natira tayong factor na 3. So, if you're going to multiply the numerator, 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, it will give us 151,200 divided by 3. And the answer for this is 50,400 permutations. So, ibig sabihin, the number of permutations of the letters of the word statistics, kung i-rearrange natin siya, makakabuo tayo ng 50,400 permutations or different arrangements. And that is for distinguishable permutation. So, ganun lang siya. Now, let's proceed to number 3. So, in number 3, ito naman yung tinatawag natin circular permutations. From the word circular, ibig sabihin, the arrangement is in a circle form or circular form, circular arrangement. Pasulo naman ako ng charger ko. So, for circular permutation, the permutation of n objects arranged in a circle is or can be solved using the formula P is equal to the quantity of n minus 1 factorial. So, ima-minus lang natin yung number of objects, minus 1 lang tayo lagi. If the arrangement is in circular form. But we have to consider these 2 important points for circular permutation. Yung number 1, if the clockwise and counterclockwise orders can be distinguished, then the total number of circular permutations of n elements taken altogether is n minus 1 factorial. So, ito yung original formula natin. Pero pagdating dun sa number 2, if the clockwise and counterclockwise orders cannot be distinguished, then the total number of circular permutations of n elements taken altogether is the quantity of n minus 1 factorial all over 2. So, gagamitin natin yung formula na yan without lock, if it is without lock. But if it is with lock, the formula is just n factorial over 2. Again, if clockwise and counterclockwise order can be distinguished, so we're going to use the original formula for permutation. This is n, quantity of n minus 1 factorial. But if clockwise and counterclockwise orders cannot be distinguished, and if it is without lock, our formula is the quantity of n minus 1 factorial all over 2. But if it is with lock, the formula is n factorial over 2. So, may ibang formula tayong gagamitin for circular permutations depende sa given situation. So, bigyan natin ng examples yung number 3 types of problems for permutation. Okay. Example 1. In how many ways can 6 people be seated at a round table? So, nakalagay naman sa problem round table, meaning the problem involves circular permutation. And this circular permutation, sabi dyan, clockwise and counterclockwise can be distinguished. So, the formula will be P is equal to the quantity of n minus 1 factorial. Since 6 lang naman yung tao na uupo sa round table, and ang sabi sa formula is n minus 1, so we have P is equal to the quantity of 6 minus 1 factorial. So, 6 minus 1 is 5, therefore 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Hindi na lang sinulat dyan. So, automatic 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Or kung meron kayong scientific calculator, just press 5 factorial. And it will gives you an answer of 120. So, the number of permutation will be 120. Or there are 120 ways that 6 people can be seated at a round table. Okay, let's proceed to example number 2. In how many ways can 5 different beads be arranged if? So, the condition is, for letter A bracelet has no lock. And then for letter B, a bracelet has a lock. So, ito yung clockwise and counterclockwise cannot be distinguished. And may sinabi dyan without lock, yung isa ay with lock. So, magkaibang formula ang gagamitin natin dyan. So, dun sa letter A, if there's no lock, gagamitin natin yung formula na quantity n minus 1 factorial all over 2. That's why we have P is equal to, kung meron tayong 5 different beads, substituting in the formula n minus 1, so we have 5 minus 1 factorial, then divide it by 2, will gives us 4 factorial over 2. And ano ibig sabihin ng 4 factorial? That is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 24. Then dividing it by 2, it gives us 12 ways. So the number of permutation for letter A, if a bracelet has no lock, is equal to 12 ways. Then for letter B, sabi dun with lock. So, the formula that you are going to use for letter B, if it is with lock, is just n factorial over 2. So, ilan yung beads? So, we have 5. So, for numerator, n is equal to 5 factorial over 2. And what is 5 factorial? That is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 or 5 factorial is equal to 120. Dividing it by 2 gives us permutation which is equal to 60, or we have 60 ways that 5 different bits be arranged if there is lock. So kung mapapansin nyo, kapag may lock, mas marami yung arrangement or permutation. Pero if it is without lock, mas maliit ang number of ways. Then let's proceed to number 3. In how many ways can 3 girls and 3 boys sit around a circular table so that the boys and girls alternate? Ayan. Sit around a circular table. So this is another circular permutation, but this time, the given condition is boys and girls are alternate. So salitan ang babae at saka ang lalaki. 3 girls and 3 boys. So, meron tayong 2 groups of objects, boys and girls. So, for our solution, sabi dyan, let us choose to sit the girls around the table first. So, kung ang unang uupo ay mga girls, so, ibig sabihin, i-insert lang natin sa girls yung mga boys kasi nga alternate. So, kung unang uupo sa circular table yung 3 girls, the number of circular permutation will be equal to n minus 1 factorial. The original formula natin. P is equal to quantity of n minus 1 factorial. That's why we have the quantity of 3 minus 1 factorial, and this is equal to 2 factorial. And 2 factorial means 2 times 1. That's why we have 2 ways. Now, kung nakaupo na yung 3 girls at mayroong 2 ways lang ng pag-arrangement na magaganap dun para doon sa 3 babae, insert natin si 3 boys. So, the boys have 6 ways or 3 factorial in sitting between the girls. Saan nanggaling yung 6 ways na yon? Doon sa 3 factorial. Hindi na natin i-apply yung formula na n-1 para doon sa boys kasi insert na lang ang gagawin natin dun sa boys. Ang factorial natin na n-1, ginamit na natin dun sa girls. And then, dun sa pagitan ng mga babae, dun lang natin i-arrange yung 3 boys. That's why, for the boys, we have 6 ways. And that comes from 3 factorial, which means 3 factorial is equal to 3 times 2 times 1. Kaya siya ay naging 6. Now, multiplying the number of ways for the girls and the number of ways for the boys. So, yung girls na naunang umupo, we have 2 ways multiplied by the number of ways of boys. This is 3 factorial. We have 2 times 6 is equal to 12 ways of sitting 3 girls and 3 boys around a table so that they alternate. Kahit naman ang unahin natin paupuin ay lalaki, ganyan din ang magiging result. Kasi kung lalaki ang mauuna, 3 din naman yung lalaki, eh di 3 minus 1 factorial pa rin naman ang lalabas. And then sa babae, 3 factorial, ito rin. So magkakaiba lamang yan ang sagot kung let's say iba ang bilang ng babae sa bilang ng lalaki. Okay? So that is for circular permutation. So I hope you understand the different types of permutation problems and how to solve those permutation problems. In your module, merong ibinigay ulit na 3 activities. Activity A, B, and C. So, ang instruction, you're going to solve the following problems and you're going to show your complete solution. So, what you're going to do first is to read and analyze the given problems, and then i-identify nyo muna kung dun sa mga discuss ko siya ba ay nabibilang sa distinct permutation or yung first type na diniscuss kong permutation problem. Kung siya ba ay distinguishable permutation, yung with repetition, yung things alike, yun yung number 2. Or kung siya ba ay under circular permutations. Kasi yung formula na gagamitin nyo ay depende sa type of permutation problems na inyong isosolve. So, kung mapapansin natin dun sa letter A, basa tayo ng ilan. In how many ways can the letters of the word COVID be arranged if all letters are used? How many different ways can 6 grab food motorcycle be parked if there are 8 available parking space? Okay? In a certain general assembly, 3 major prizes are at stake. In how many ways can the first, second, and third prizes be drawn from a box containing of 120? So, analyzing naman yung problems from 1, 2, 3 hanggang 5. Etong mga problems na ito sa letter A ay under siya ng distinct arrangement. Ibig sabihin, dun tayo sa unang formula. Ayun, distinct arrangement. Permutations with distinct arrangement. Okay, kaya lang dapat tama ang pag-identify natin ng value ng n at saka ng value ng r. Remember, hindi pwedeng mas mataas ang r sa n. Dapat laging ang n ay mas mataas sa r or ang n at r ay equal. Again, ulitin ko, hindi pwedeng mas mataas ang r sa n. Ang r ay pwedeng less than n or pwedeng equal silang dalawa. Now, huwag mali dito sa number 2. So, yung number 3 major prizes, ibig sabihin, 3 lang yung kailangan mong i-arrange. First, second, and third. Pero saan manggagaling? Sa 120. Yung number 4, 7 yung available parking space, pero ang ipapark mo lang naman ay 5. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa 7 parking space, ang magagamit lang lagi ay 5 space. Ayan. So, dapat ay alam nyong i-determine ano ang N, ano ang R. So, yung letter B. Okay. Pag tiningnan natin yung mga problems dun sa letter, dun pa lang sa number 1, kita mo na naulit yung 9, naulit yung 1, naulit yung 2. So, there are things alike. Sa number 2, 2 ang blue, 3 ang red. So, ang naulit dyan ay color na blue at saka color na red. So, meron kang 2 objects na alike. Kasi, na-repeat yung blue color, na-repeat din yung red colors. Pero, lahat ng objects mo, i-add mo kung ilan ang bilang ng beads para yun ang value ng n. Okay? For number 3, ayun, yung example ko kanina, yung may magkakaparehong aklat, kasi 4 yung math books, 3 yung science books, 2 yung Filipino books. So, ang hindi lang naulit ay English, walang kaparehong aklat na English, nag-iisa lang yung English. So, things are alike. Number 4, ganun din. Ang rhinestone, 3. Ang crystals ay 5. Ang precious metals ay 2. And then for number 5, so mga alike objects natin dito ay yung color ng PPEs. Kasi 3 yung nagsuot ng blue, 3 yung nagsuot ng yellow. Ayan. So, kailangan malinaw sa inyo yan. So, ibig sabihin yung letter B ay papasok sa permutations with repetitions or yung tinatawag natin na distinguishable permutation. So, I hope may apply nyo ng tama yung formula dyan. Letter C. Okay. For letter C, malinaw naman around a table. Kalagay dyan. Bracelet with no lock. So, meron tayong formula para dyan. Ayan. Number 3, circular table. May clue na kayo kung ano yan. And then number 4, ring. So, 8 keys are to be arranged in a key ring. And then number 5, halagay naman dyan, circular table. So, it means that for letter C, you're going to apply circular permutations. Okay. So, I hope na masagot nyo ng tama ang activities for week 2 under solving problems that involve permutations. So that's all for solving problem for permutations.